And it's such a common mistake that people are making because they can't see it.
This is fascinating because I don't think it's a mistake, in the sense that, like, I think that the way you wrote it originally with the input and the computed is a very natural way to do that. I see this as actually Angular is failing to do the right thing here. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a good thing we showed it to you.
Oh, absolutely. Angular is failing to do the right thing here.
So this is the list, and then it has 10 items. And when I click the favorite button, the favorite list has the ID like 0, and the background of the corresponding item changes from transparent background to the yellow background. And when when I like click the button again, so this item is no longer my favorite, and the background color changes from yellow to transparent. But if you look at the console log, so when I like click the button, like some text like shown in the console, it's because I have a print item method in the favorite item component, and it is executed in the template. I want to know like how often the favorite item component is rendered. Like when I click this button, I expect like one console log to be seen, but then each click result to 10 more lines. So all the favorite items are rendered. Yep, this is bad for a long list. Like if the list has 1,000 items, like 1,000 console log.
So Alex, what do you think of that?
Oh, it's fascinating. It's interesting because it actually did take me a second looking at the old component, the kind of poor performing one, to pick out the problem. Looking at it was like, oh, this seems okay. Like we have, computed that's like short circuiting the evaluation if like the favorite status didn't change, and then like, oh yeah, right. But the input will kind of just the input changing is enough to like make it already think it needs to render to refresh, right?
The reason I loved this stack blitz so much was because this is something that is so easy for people to do wrong and not see, because you wouldn't catch this mistake if you're not watching for it. And it's such a common mistake that people are making because they can't see it.
This is fascinating because I don't think it's a mistake, in the sense that, like, I think that the way you wrote it originally with the input and the computed is a very natural way to do that. I see this as actually Angular is failing to do the right thing here. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a good thing we showed it to you.
Oh, absolutely. Angular is failing to do the right thing here. And it's a consequence of a number of different factors, right? The way input signal should work is it should be a computed of the expression that you bound into it. And in that sense, like, it shouldn't, like, it should only need to update if it should only need to re-render that component or refresh the template if the actual full chain of things changing caused the template to change. But because input signals work the way they do, it's actually, we kind of don't distinguish between, oh, you change the input signal and you set any other kind of input. Like, we kind of assume that the template needs checking, when it actually is not the case for input signals. We have, and it works that way because we had to be backwards compatible with the old style of inputs, basically. And we didn't want to break components that switched from regular inputs to input signals, and suddenly they're change detecting less, and like that breaks some assumption they had. Part of the problem is, like, you might have a component that gets two properties set. The input changes, but the input's not actually used in the template. And then some other thing in a service somewhere changes, and like you actually want to pick up that change. There's all kinds of ways this can be breaking. But the reality is we do want to eventually have something called a signal component, where you promise Angular, like, I'll only change the template through signals. And in that case, like, the input shouldn't cause the component to be marked for check, right? It shouldn't cause it to necessarily update. It's only if that input change actually results in the template changing that should happen. So I love this because it picks it at kind of like a really obnoxious little fact about input signals that should not be the case.
Good job, Connie.
Beautiful work.
I learned it from other GDEs and like other framework. It is a Vue that has the same problem, and the Vue people fixed it that way, and I think that the solution is framework agnostic, so I reproduce these step-it demos in Angular, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's good to take courses for other frameworks. 1+1 greater than.
Well, I thought that was very cool. I thought Alex would like it, and I was right. So, Connie, can you send both of those stack blitzes to Alex in Slack, in the GDE Slack, so he can have those in his Slack,
Yes,
please?
Tomorrow?
Yes, okay? Tomorrow. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. We should let you get to sleep. Yes. Thank you so much for staying up late to show Alex that. Thank you for writing that.
By the way, I just wrote a note in our the Angular reactivity Slack, which is our Slack channel for talking about like signals and everything else. Just to introduce an idea of, hey, maybe we could optimize this. So yes, please send me your stack blitz and I'll link it for us to look.
You can show it to them.
Yes. Yep. Tomorrow when I'm awake.
Tomorrow. You have to wait till tomorrow, Alex.
That's fine.
Just know that we appreciate you, Connie, and that was really cool what you did. Okay, so we won't keep you up too long because I know it's really, really late there. But anybody else thought that was cool? Can we come off mute and give Connie some love?
Good job, Connie.
Love you, Connie.
Thank you. Thank you for staying up.
That's really awesome, Connie.